What trailer rack should you get for your business? Let's check out what I got on my setup. So I have both my trailers set up here, my 6x14 and my 5x10. I ran these trailer racks for a good 2 to 3 years before I switched over to my other trailer racks. These are just Amazon basics, man. I picked these both up for a fraction of what some of the professional ones cost, and it got me through some of the first years of my business. So check out Amazon, see what they got. They got a good selection on different racks that can meet your budget, and these served me well for a lot of years. Now, what I recommend if you have the money to spend on them using, and I have bought these in stages, so don't think I just bought all these at once because they are pretty pricey, is Green Touch racks. So right now on the trailer, I have 2 blower racks, a tool rack, a trimmer rack, a spool line rack, and a sprayer rack. Let's go through the pluses and minuses versus other competitors. So on the Green Touch racks, the cool thing about these is instead of having a custom locking mechanism, they just use padlocks. So that means you can customize these padlocks out for your code. You don't have to have a manual key lock. This means that you guys don't have to carry around keys or stuff to be able to unlock the equipment. You don't have to worry about losing keys because all they need is the code to be able to get into the equipment, which is super nice and convenient. I don't have to worry about losing a key or accidentally forgetting a key. And I can always access my equipment with the code that I've set to it, which is super nice about these racks. They got a very good build quality. These things are really steel. They're coated in a weird rubbery paint, which is nice. Also for the blower racks, they do customize these bars here. So for your 600s, they will still be locked tight where nobody can steal them. On some of the Amazon racks, they only come in the bigger selection to fit more blowers, but it means that your 600s or anything with a narrow handle won't be fully secured, so people can still slip that out. So on these racks, they are really secure and tight and good to go. They also sell these racks in black or neon green, so there are cool color options. And they are very customizable with what size you need for your blowers or your trimmers. All this is interchangeable to help prevent your power heads from wobbling, which is nice. And they all have their own locking systems. There's no way you could tamper, break a lock. It's all internal. So you'd have to literally grind this entire post off to be able to get to your trimmers, which is awesome. Now, some negatives of Green Touch that I have noticed is one on the sprayer rack. This is my only complaint on the sprayer rack, is when I'm putting my flow zone sprayer in here, it does grind off the front of it when you put it in. So here, I'll show you real quick. So on the sprayer here, as you can see, the sprayer's only a year old and the rack has destroyed the sticker. Is it a big deal? No. Over time, could it cause some major damage? Maybe. But it's just something to note that it is a super tight fit. It prevents it from being stolen, but it does grind off the stickers and some of the plastic when you put the sprayer into the rack. Another thing to note, this one was designed to have the whole unit fit in here, but with your flow zones, the hose sticks out slightly. So I did have to customize this one by cutting this little lip part, because it looked like this, off to be able to fit the sprayer nozzle and the tube to run out. So you will have to customize that a little bit if you're using flow zone sprayers like me. Another thing is, this clip will not be able to hold the wand properly. So when I was driving down one day, this wand popped off, fell off into the trailer, which ground off the tip of it because it was on the, not into the trailer, into the road, so it ground off the sprayer. So if you're doing this, I'd recommend putting a zip tie here to be able to secure it better. That way you're not just relying on this little rub piece to hold your sprayer wand in, especially how heavy they are, or to store it behind it or something like that. So if it does fall, it falls into the trailer and not out into the street. The trimmer line rack works great, no complaints, super simple build. Even has a little cutter here so you can cut it to the right length. No complaints on that one. Super simple, easy, bolted in there, no problems there. For the trimmer rack, what I do recommend you do, which I didn't do, is mount this thing to find the studs on your trailer and mount it to that. So be able to put two bolts into here. That way you're not ever running into any wobbliness with your trailer rack. Now what I ended up having to do is carriage bolt this thing and put lock washers and lock nuts on there. That way it doesn't accidentally spin out and cause this thing to cavitate and wobble. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to do that, to mount it on the side of the trailer. But these things work great. They have their own, like I said, locking mechanism that installs onto your trimmer itself. meaning that it's virtually impossible unless you cut this rack off to be able to access your trimmers, which is great, secure, and I love it. Now, there is a negative to having this system. Every now and then, what I'll get caught doing is when I remove one trimmer from it, one other trimmer gets a little bit loose. So what that means is I had this happen twice, where this little knot was loose, which caused the whole trimmer to fall off the side of the trailer. So make sure when you're using these, either you remember to check that all your trimmers are secure on it every single yard you do, or you might have one loosen up when you're putting one onto the trailer. That might cause an issue by having it eject off the side of the trailer. So just keep that in mind. Nothing wrong with a tool rack. Nice simple build, sturdy, works great for all the hand tools there. And that pretty much wraps up all of my racks. I've been using Green Touch now for about a year. These things have worked great. They've kept all my equipment safe. Nothing's ever been stolen, which is awesome. I don't worry about anything being stolen, which is another peace of mind thing. And it keeps all my equipment off of the trailer where I can pull my mowers up here. And that keeps everything organized, saves me time, energy, and money. So if that video helped you decide on what trailer brands to buy, this is why I bought my setup. Let me know down in the comments, do you have a trailer rack brand that you prefer? And without further ado, stay safe, stay tuned, stay unbroken.